This house was really typical of sort of a 1980s split-level home. It was very subdivided. There were doors to all the rooms. The kitchen and the dining room were divided by a wall with just a tiny door in between. The space just wasn't being maximized for the use that they needed, and it was also really dark because it was so subdivided. The starting point was that we really needed to look at the layout and how to make it work better for a busy family. They need to entertain, but they've also got their kids and all the toys, so it had to be a sophisticated space, but with lots of clearance. The key challenge with laying out the living room is that 3 of the 4 walls have doors or stairs or lead off to another room. So effectively you're left with 1 wall. With the amount of clearance that you need in order to move through the room easily, that means that you end up needing to put a piece of furniture right up against that wall. And that, everyone knows, is a pretty big design no-no. Designers always tell people to pull their furniture off the wall. That makes for better style. But the problem with the space is that it honestly wasn't possible. So we accepted that the sofa had to be up against the wall, and we took the opportunity to really dress it up with nice built-ins and putting sconces. It gives it a nice cozy library feeling. Once we put the sofa against the back wall, it sort of dictated where the TV was going to end up. But the nice thing is that because we really opened up the space into the dining room, it pushes it slightly off to the side and doesn't make the TV the focus in a living room. One of the critical things for this family was storage. There were toys everywhere when I first walked in, so we needed to give them some closed storage so they'd have easy access to the toys for every day, but they could be tucked away quickly. The room is deceptively large, so it needed a large piece of furniture to really anchor it. That's why we went with an oversized circular coffee table. The other thing I like about it is that it's all soft edges and it's nice and low. It can easily be cleared off and kids can color there and play. So it helps to meet the 2 purposes of the room: the sophistication of a living room for entertaining and the casualness of a family space. So the homeowners really like green and blue. But one of the critical things that they were asking for was there had to be more light in the space. So I knew that that automatically was going to dictate lighter walls and a floor that really bounced a lot of warmth in. Then we could layer in those colors that they were hoping for. Once we had the golden tones of the floor already selected, the fabric choice for the drapery really became obvious. That drapery is the focal point when you walk into the house. It's the first thing you see, and so we used that to drive the color selection for all the other soft finishes. Moving from the living room into the dining room, we increased the openness between the 2 spaces, particularly with them having small kids. We wanted the space to be a little bit more open and easy to move through. So we chose to work with armless chairs and a round edge table to keep the circulation flowing. The chairs were another opportunity to bring in that beautiful blue color, and I like that the velvet makes them soft, but also makes them fairly easy to clean. One of the key changes to this space was to take out the dividing wall between the kitchen and the dining room. One, it allowed us to increase the space of the kitchen a little bit more, but it also allows the light to flow from the front to the back of the house. The layout of the kitchen was tricky to nail down. We went through several iterations before we really settled on the peninsula. The bay window was a struggle to figure out how to deal with it. The windows go quite low down and it's open to the street. So we actually blocked off the lower portion of the windows for increased privacy and then to give them a window seat with storage below. One little detail that we added that I think brings a lot of character to the space was that we went with black hardware on a gray cabinet. It's just a nice punctuation, but it's not a strong statement. If I had to describe the whole space in just a couple of words, I think I'd probably go with playful sophistication, because it is a sophisticated and rich adult environment, but it's got little quirky aspects. It's got hits of brass. It's got kid-friendly details that I think really achieves that balance we were going for.